So like I said, this is going to be the polished lecture. We just want to make this website look amazing. So we're going to pay attention to all the little details and make sure that everything is great here. So the first thing that I want to fix is that the nav bar up top here, I want all the links to go to the appropriate pages. So starting out with this one for Nick Walter, this should always go home. So let's go to the top with our nav here. And for this href, let's go ahead and have the URLs be pointing to URL home. Okay, so we'll go ahead and save that, reload. If I click there, still takes me home. Okay. Next, we want Twitter to go to my Twitter account. So for Twitter, I'm just going to type in the name of my Twitter account. So http://twitter.com/NickChuckWalter. Yes, I know, a long Twitter name, but it's mine. So we'll reload this, and now if I click on Twitter, should go to my Twitter page, although my internet is incredibly slow right now, so we might not see this for a second. I just want to prove that this actually goes to Twitter here. There we go. All right, so look at my bio right now, pretzel. Who knew there was a pretzel emoji? Now you do. Okay, so the resume, that's looking great, right? That shows up. The next one is for the blog. So in order for the blog to show up, we're going to have to kind of think about this one for a second, right? Because if we go to, where do we have our blog? So blog urls.py, the name for this, all blogs. Okay, so we've got our name, all blogs. So let's go back to our home.html. The href for that is we should say, put our percentage signs, URL, and then in the quote, all blogs. All right, so we'll save this and now reload the home page. If I go to blog, oh yeah, check it out, went to the blog. Okay, so that's looking great. The button does the email. We had checked that out before. We've got the jobs showing up down here. That's excellent. We've got the date. I think we can fully check off the home page here. Nice work. All right, I was trying to make that Obama face where he does the thumbs up. Hopefully I was somewhat close. For this next page, we want to have basically the same nav bar. So let's go ahead back to our project, and we are going to copy. Oh, one more thing that I do want to specify here. We don't have a website icon right now, but we do want to have a title here. So right now it says album example for Bootstrap. Let's change this to something like Nick Walter so that it shows that this website is about me. All right. So with that in place, let's go ahead and copy this nav with all the appropriate information in there, and let's go check out all blogs, and we'll replace all blogs with this awesome new nav. Okay, we'll paste that there. Let's change the title on this one to say something like Nick's blog. Okay, save that. Again, we don't have an icon, so we'll just go ahead and delete that there. Now, one cool thing that we want to do here is we want to make the blog tag up here to be active so that we can sort of show that that's where we are. So if we go now, reload the home page, click on blog. Oh, look at this. See, this is where we had a problem. So we tried to reference some static files, in this case, the resume.pdf, and it says, did you forget to register or load this tag? And yes, we did. This is the one I said, and you're going to make this mistake. And so if we go back to our home.html, let's copy this load static files, and we'll bring it back to all blogs, and I'll plop it in the same spot. There we go. All right, so let's reload that. Okay, looking much better. Let's test this now that we got this cool functionality. That took us home. I click on the blog, and when I'm at the blog, it shows that it's active by having, the nice white there, ready to rock and roll. Okay, so as far as like this blog page looks, like we're doing pretty good. Again, the name Nick's blog there. If I go to Nick Walter, it just shows that this is, Nick Walter website. But the big thing is when I click on one of these details, well, right now it's not even going to the appropriate place. But even if we went to, blog/1, for example, this does not look good. So first, let's make it so this will actually take us to the detail. So let's go back to our code. And this is going to be a little bit different than you might expect. But the href for here, we're going to do our little curly brackets, percentage signs, and say, we want to go to the URL for and let's get the appropriate name here for detail. So we're going to do the URL for detail, but when we go to the detail page, we have to specify a blog ID. So in fact, if we go ahead and try and reload this page with that, it's going to say, whoa, you know, detail needs to have a certain amount of parameters there. And so what we need to do is pass inside of here whatever the blog ID is going to be. And so in this case, we can simply just get our blog object that we already have and just say blog.id. And that allows us to get it. So we'll save this. Let's reload the page here. And now you can see when I click on this, it takes me to /2. When I click on this one, it takes me to /1. Pretty great. Okay. So with that all in place, now when we go ahead and click on the detail, let's make this look a little bit better. Now the code for this one should be basically everything that we have here. So let's go ahead, go to Atom and just copy all the HTML we have for all blogs. And let's take it to our, let's see where it is, detail.html. We're going to paste this in. Now in this situation, you know, for example, the title here, we might not want it to be Nick's blog. We want it to be the actual title of the blog. So this is where we could say, you know, blog.title. These are kind of cool small details that will help us. So for example, let's click on one of these and look, it shows Cheese is my friend is the title. That's pretty cool. Now we don't need to say welcome to Nick's blog, and we don't need latest post showing up there. I mean, essentially what we need to do is show everything that we had done before, but we're not going to do it in this for loop way. So let's go ahead and just delete what we had up top here. Let's get rid of this for loop, right? Let's get rid of this end for, all that stuff, and let's save this now, reload it. Okay, so it's showing the information, but it's maybe not exactly what we're looking for. So the title, I think this should be kind of in big text at the top, and I don't want it to be a link anymore because you're already at the page. So in fact, maybe we should just make it almost the same as what we had here, right? Like if we cut and, you know, paste this right down here, that's going to be pretty close to what we wanted. So we're going to have to re-delete that for and stuff, but here inside of this H1 tag, we want to have the blog title. We don't want any A tags, so we'll just get rid of that line completely. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, Cheese is my friend, pretty good. Let's have a full-blown image inside of here. So we'll go ahead and we're going to add this image. Okay, so we'll go ahead and copy and paste that right there. Let's get rid of these height and width requirements. Okay, and save that. This is, you know, pretty good. I guess it depends on how big you want your image to be. You know, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tough call that you're going to have to make. But, you know, I think it's kind of cool having this large image here. Next thing that we're going to want to do is have the date shown, and maybe on the detail we could show all the, you know, exact things like the hour and minute that it happened. Again, kind of a preference, up to you. But so now I'm just going to have pub date, and I think I'm going to put pub date in between the H1 and the image, which means we're going to have a break in between those two. Let's reload and see what that looks like. Well, I want that to be centered. So let's go back, and I'm going to have to put this sort of text in something. Maybe I'll put it in a P tag and put that in an ending P tag, and I can say class is equal to text-center. Okay, we'll save that, reload this page. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That P tag automatically gave us a line break, so we can go get rid of this one. That'll make it look a little bit cleaner. Oh yeah, that looks good. And then we want to get rid of this other image and then just have the text down below. In fact, we might not need to change that one at all. So really, I think we just get rid of this image right here. We probably only need one line break. We can test and see what that's going to look like, but let's save it and reload the page there. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And to kind of really test that this is working right, let's go to the blog and let's do the first one, which we made to have really big text. And ooh, look at this, it's still doing the summary. So we're going to want to go back and change this to just straight up body. Save that. And now when we reload this page, oh yeah, we get all that info. I might like one more space between those two things. You can get nitpicky about this however you want and whatever you think is appropriate, but I'm just looking at this thinking, yeah, that's more of what I was looking for. Okay, so with this in place, another cool thing, like look at the title here, My First Blog. I click on the cheese one, cheese is my new friend. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we have a finished website here, completely polished, looks great. So much to talk about here, but I just want to give you a big pat on the back. I know this was a big ramp up talking about Django skills, but I've got all that stuff to say in the outro, so let's go move there now.